The bands that want to be the biggest badasses pick the most badass subjects. It's not that these people believe in this stuff, it's just, you know, it's a cool imagery that goes along with music. And, you know, some people do believe in it, you know. I'm not going to deny that the Norwegian bands are real. I mean, they've proven they're real by their actions.
Okay, so Venom and Slayer aren't real Satanists. But many fans, including me, wonder if the Norwegian black metal bands are the real thing. So I've come to Norway, an isolated country in northern Europe. 87% of Norway's population belongs to the Lutheran State Church. And yet, strangely, Norway's biggest cultural export is satanic black metal.
We're filming a documentary. It's a documentary on heavy metal music. Well, first of all, we told him we were doing a documentary on the history of metal, and he said, black metal?
You say like that?
Black metal? They know their metal here in Norway, let me say.
Like thrash, black metal evolved from punk and the new wave of British heavy metal, with additional theatrical elements borrowed from shock rock. Its sound is raw, yet it is also epic and atmospheric, like punk rock meets Wagner dressed as Alice Cooper. My journey takes me on an overnight train ride from the capital city Oslo to Bergen, a small town on the fjords of the country's west coast. I'm here to talk to people linked to a string of incidents involving members of the Norwegian black metal scene and some of the country's oldest churches.
Rolf Rasmussen. I'm an assistant minister of this church, Åsane Church in Bergen, Norway. I have been here for 3.5 years when suddenly, the night before Christmas Eve, I received a call from one of my colleagues, and he told me the church is on fire. And I fell into shivers right there in my bed, and I dressed to go to the scene. And coming to the church, it was all flames. The firemen were trying to do their best to contain the damage. And we were there, the staff, looking at the flames, and the smell was everywhere, acrid and pungent. And the tower was still up when we arrived, but after some time, maybe half an hour, it fell heavily to the ground. This was a great loss, not just to us personally, but really to the whole community. This church had been standing here for nearly 200 years, and I saw quite a lot of sad faces. It was not a happy Christmas at all.
I satanistmiljøet I Oslo det nå frykt for nye drap etter drapet på den 25 år gamle.
Varg Vikernes, the most notorious metal musician of all time, was implicated in a series of arsons that destroyed some of Norway's most treasured historic churches in the early 90s. He was also convicted for murdering a fellow black metal musician and is now serving a life sentence. Jorn Tunsberg helped Varg burn down the Åsane church. He served his time and was recently released from prison.
We did meet with Rolf Rasmussen, the minister of the Åsane church, and interviewed him.
Okay.
I'm very interested to hear from you, your perspective on what happened.
The most important thing that happened was that the church were burned down. So that's something I stand for, and I stood for it then, I will stand for it now, and I will stand for it like till I die.
Why is it important to you that you stand behind your actions?
Yeah, it's kind of a statement to break down Christianity.
Lately, there's been a small trend by some people to see Christianity and any other established religion as the bad guy, and Satan as the liberator, the one who can really turn you into the powerful, strong paths that you should lead.
What is the primary ideology or primary ideas that fuel Gorgoroth's music?
Satan.
What does Satan embody, or what does he represent?
Freedom.
I think whether we like it or not, black metal in Norway is known for a string of events that happened in the early 1990s around a series of arsons. I'm interested to know your thoughts on the actions of those events, the motivations behind those events, whether you agree with them, whether you disagree.
Church burnings and all these things are, of course, a thing that I support 100%, and it should have been done much more and will be done much more in the future. We have to remove every trace from what Christianity and the Semitic roots have to offer this world. Satanism is freedom for the individual to grow and to become the Superman. Every man who's born to be king becomes king. Every man who's born to be a slave doesn't know Satan.
It's in effect an elitist's religion. It's only for the best, for the strongest, for the most successful. It's not for the timid or the weak. And so by that virtue alone, it won't have a large following.
What can you say? Words of a Christian man. So I don't care what he will ever say, you know. I know for a fact that they have lost a lot of followers, so we have been giving them a fist in the face.
How do you feel about what happened to the church?
Well, in a way, I think that Christianity in Norway deserved it. You know, in the beginning, it was, you know, it was not something the Norwegians choose. It was forced upon them. So you can say that, you know, that's 1,000 years ago, but you know, but I wasn't sad, but I wasn't really happy either. But I mean, in a historical point of view, Christianity deserved, you know.
And I think society creates extreme people. It's like with you know, a free democracy, it usually deserves its leaders, and it's also I would say it usually also deserves its outsiders.
If every metal band wants to be more extreme than those that came before, then burning churches certainly took things to a new level. But these actions say less about metal's theatrics than they do about Norwegian cultural sensibilities. Resentment towards Christianity in Norway stretches back 1,000 years to their Viking ancestors. In any case, the majority of metal fans, including myself, could never understand or defend these extreme actions.
I love going to Norway and Denmark because I love picking up the black metal magazines. It's so Spinal Tap because each band is trying to be more wicked and evil than the other band, you know. And it's I can't turn the page without, you know, look at this one. You know, here's these guys in there. You know, and you know these guys when you meet them in the mall. They're, hello, Mr. Cooper. How are you? Nice to meet you. My mother's right over there. Could she have your autograph? And I said, I thought you guys were like Satans or something. You know, it's like, well, yeah, we are, but you know. Very rarely do you meet anybody that's truly